Welcome back, guys. Now we are done with theory of horizontal circular motion. Now we are gonna shift our plane and study vertical circular motion. Vertical circular motion. Don't worry, we will have a session on numericals based on application of circular motion, numericals on turning on road, on conical pendulum, inside a curved surface. Don't worry about that. So what is vertical circular motion? Hmm? Vertical circular motion is when your plane of circle is vertical. That means hmm, turning of the road or conical pendulum or uniform circular motion. What was our circle? Our circle was horizontal. That's mean it was in a horizontal plane. But what is vertical circular motion? So vertical circular motion is a circular motion with when motion of the plane is vertical. So this way. Now, can you tell me from your study of free falling motion, which was vertical, object was going upward and object was going downward, from that experience, can you tell me, will vertical circular motion will be ever uniform? कधी युनिफॉर्म असेल का? म्हणजे वर्टिकल सर्क्युलर मोशन मध्ये कधी स्पीड कधीतरी स्पीड कॉन्स्टंट असेल का? मॅग्निट्यूड ऑफ व्हेलॉसिटी टँजेन्शियल व्हेलॉसिटी कॉन्स्टंट असेल का कधीतरी? अशी एखादी केस असेल का की जिथं सर्क्युलर मोशन व्हर्टिकल आहे पण स्पीड पण कॉन्स्टंट आहे? असे असेल का? हे तुमच्या फ्री फॉलिंगच्या एक्सपिरियन्स वरून सांगा. फ्री फॉल मध्ये काय होतं? ऑब्जेक्ट होता तो लिनियर मोशन मध्ये होता, फ्रॉम आयदर डाऊनवर्ड, फ्रॉम खालून तो वरती जात होता तो, किंवा खालून वरती पडत होता, किंवा आपण काय करत होतो त्याला वरती फेकत होता नंतर खाली पडत होता. असे बरेच एक्झाम्पल पाहिले. वेन and and that free fall motion was uniformly accelerated motion. And what was the acceleration? It was acceleration due to gravity. Acceleration due to gravity. And because of that acceleration, even if it was linear motion, it was going upward, at some point its velocity was zero and it dropped below. During whole journey, its velocity, its speed never remained constant. The same way, when I am performing a circular motion, I am putting an object in vertical circular motion. Now it is also completing it is also traveling with, we know the tangential motion is linear motion. Tangential component of acceleration, tangential velocity. If I leave the string, it will travel along the tangent or a linear path. So that linear motion of the linear part of circular motion will come under the free fall. That means it will be guided by or influenced by acceleration due to gravity. So So the magnitude of velocity will be ever changing, because this acceleration due to gravity is also acting on the body. And when it is in circular motion, see, look it in a slow motion. First of all, this is equilibrium position. When the block is going upward, the height of the block from ground is increasing. That means its potential energy is increasing. We know conservation of mechanical energy. When the and let's assume this is isolated system. So when the potential energy of block is increasing because of the vertical height is increasing, vertical displacement is increasing, then its kinetic energy must be decreasing. That means kinetic energy is nothing but half of mv square. Half and m are not going to change. What is going to change? V. So while it is going upward, V speed is going to decrease, and when the block is coming down from other side following the circular path, the vertical displacement h is decreasing, so potential energy is decreasing, and so it will be compensated by increase in ke. Law of conservation of mechanical energy, delta pe is equal to delta ke. So kinetic energy will increase while it is coming down, even if it is following circular path, and at the bottommost or equilibrium position, the velocity will be the most, because kinetic energy will be the most, because this is the equilibrium position and this is the minimum height, minimum vertical displacement that this block can attain. That means potential energy will be minimum at this point, so kinetic energy will be maximum at this point, so velocity will be maximum at this point. So first of all, we are clear that this is the point where velocity is maximum, and when it is going upward, velocity is speed is decreasing, speed is maximum here, speed is decreasing because height is increasing, kinetic energy is decreasing, potential energy is decreasing. At this location, when the block is at its topmost position, now it has attained the maximum height it can attain. So here the potential energy will be maximum and the kinetic energy will be the minimum. So the topmost position, your velocity will be at its minimum, and when again it is coming downward, now the motion and g are in the same direction. That means velocity speed will increase, and height, vertical displacement or vertical height is h is decreasing, so potential energy will decrease and kinetic energy will increase. And once again at the lowest point it will be at highest position. So when it is going upward, when it is going upward, velocity will decrease. When it is coming downward, velocity will increase, keeping total mechanical energy same. So from using conservation of mechanical energy, we can say that speed will be not constant along the path. Speed will always change due to the change in vertical height, vertical displacement, and due to the effect of gravitational acceleration or gravitational potential, that we will discuss deeply when we are going to learn gravitation. So in vertical circular motion, speed cannot be constant, so VCM cannot be a UCM. So first of all, in VCM, speed V will never be constant. So in VCM there will be non-zero tangential acceleration, non-zero tangential acceleration, and it is a vertical circular motion, so there will be a centripetal acceleration also, because ये क्या है, ये बाप है और सर्कुलर मोशन बेटा है. So from this we can say VCM can never be UCM. UCM. आता चला, let's draw the vertical circle. अशा वर्टिकल सर्कल मध्ये an object of mass m is traveling along this vertical circle in clockwise direction. Let's assume this. So let's draw our coordinate systems. This is x, this is y, a b c d. This is point A, this is point B, this is point C, this is point D. My A point is the topmost point. A point is the topmost point of my vertical circle, and B point is the bottommost point of the vertical circle. So let's tackle the uppermost position or uppermost point A first. Let's see what is happening there. Uppermost position A. Let's draw. If this is mass, then and it is tied by a string to a center, then there will be mg which is acting downward, because now this is vertical circular motion and downward direction is where center of gravity of earth is, and tension will be also away from mass, away from mass. So now either you can use concept of centrifugal force, or you can say that required centripetal force is given by resultant of mg and tension. Now both are acting towards center, so their sign will be positive. So FCP, which is mv square upon r, will be mg plus t. mg plus t, and t here will be ta. Tension in spring will be different at different location. Now see this. So in circular motion, at when you see the topmost position, so first let's assume the equilibrium position. The mass is acting downward, which is creating tension in the string. That downward acting mass is pulling the string, and that weight created by this mass is creating tension in the spring. But when it When the block is at its topmost position at A, now if I leave the block, there is no tension in the string. There is no tension in the spring because here there, there is no, what I am doing, I am pulling the force away from, I am pulling the block away from my hand. That's why there is tension in the string. This tension is not created by weight of the block because now weight of the block is acting downward. Weight of the block is acting downward, and if there is a tension it will also act downward. So at topmost position both mg and tension in the string are acting downward. So if if this tension at topmost position, uppermost position goes zero, if this tension goes zero, string will slack and circular motion will cease to exist. Let us see if I can do this. If it is at topmost position and I just give it my change my hands position so that there is no tension in the string and it slacks, then the circular motion, vertical circular motion will cease to exist. Let's see. See, when I am changing my position of center, so string slacks. What is happening? It is not following the circular path. See, let's put it in vertical circular motion and one position. It won't. I think it. I won't be able to do it at exact uppermost position. But if I change my position of my hand, see what happened, string tension in the string vanished and this block will just drop down. It will not follow the circular path. It will not follow the circular path. So to to our particle m to stay in circular motion, this TA's limiting value or minimum value is 0. It should be greater than 0. It should be greater than 0, but for theoretical purposes, its limiting value of TA is 0. If it goes 0 or it goes below 0, that means it is then our circular motion will cease to exist. Our circular motion will cease to exist. So even if TA goes to 0, our mg should be able to, only mg should be able to provide necessary centripetal force for our circular motion. That means if I put TA is equal to 0, mv square by r should be equal to or greater than mg, so that it stays in circular motion. Because if TA goes to 0 and mg is less than centripetal force, then there is no enough centripetal force to keep particle in circular motion, and circular motion will cease to exist. So at topmost position, if tension in string goes to 0, then the remaining force which is acting towards center should be enough for centripetal force. So at topmost position this condition should suffice, and from this m will get cancelled and V should be greater than or equal to root of mg rg rg. So what is the minimum value of Va at position A, uppermost position Va? Minimum will be square root of rg. If velocity speed at this position drops below this value, and this value, see, once again we are getting a pattern that speeds are not in circular motion. Speeds are independent of the mass of the object. They only mostly depend on radius and g and any or theta and mu, but rg are always there. So this should be the minimum value, so that at the topmost position, so that the block can come down in circular path. So let's see at bottommost position. At bottommost position B. Now here string is here, our mass is here, weight will be acting downward, but now the tension will be in the string which is now hanging downward and away from this mass. So this is string. So now here necessary centripetal force will be given by mv square upon r will be given by resultant of tension and mg. Now the force pointing toward center will have positive sign, and force pointing away from center will have negative sign, for centripetal force sign convention. If you use centrifugal force, then you will have to mv square upon rg downward, and then what will you do? T minus mg minus mv square upon r is equal to 0. So T mv square upon r will be T minus mg, and we are getting the same. Equation here. Yeah. We are getting the same equation here. Now let's apply conservation of mechanical energy while the particle is traveling from A to B. So by conservation of mechanical energy between A and B, delta KE will be equal to delta PE. So we already know, I have demonstrated that velocity at B will be higher than velocity at A. So kinetic energy at B will be higher than kinetic energy at B. So if I do VB and TB here, and VA, then half of m VB square minus half of m VA square will be mgh. What will be my h? H is vertical displacement What is it? When it comes from this point to this point, you are gonna take vertical displacement. You are not measuring this path, you are measuring shortest distance between A and B vertically. So what is shortest distance between A and B vertically? The vertical line joining them, this line, this line. And what is the length of this line? It is a diameter, so 2r. So what is the value of h? Is 2r. So put that 2r in here. M will get cancelled. 2 can go to this side. So m, sorry, we have already cancelled m. So VB square minus VA square will be equal to 2 into G into 2R, which will be equal to 4GR. 4GR. And we already know the minimum velocity at A, which is Rg. We can put it here. So from here we can get Vb square minimum minus Rg equal to 4Rg. So from this I will get Vb minimum is equal to square root of Rg goes to there, it becomes 5Rg, square root of 5Rg. See, at A velocity is Rg, at B velocity is minimum velocity is 5Rg, which is greater than Rg. पहा, आधी आपण काय करतोय, वेगवेगळ्या लोकेशनला फाइंड करतोय. आपण ह्याच्यानंतर एक जनरलाइज पाहणार आहे की कुठल्याही पोझिशनला असेल तर कसं काढायचं. पण कळण्यासाठी की नेमकं आपण काय करतोय आणि कन्झर्वेशन ऑफ मेकॅनिकल एनर्जी आपण कशी लावतोय, त्यासाठी आपण जनरल स्पेसिफिक पॉइंट घेऊन पाहतोय. स्पेसिफिक पॉइंट घेऊन पाहतोय. आता काय करू, आता सी पोझिशन घेऊ किंवा टी पोझिशन घेऊ, कुठलीही घेऊ शकता तुम्ही. Now take motion from A to D. That means our third position, horizontal position. Horizontal position. Now here mg will be acting downward and tension will act inward. T D. T D. So here from free body diagram, I can say that this tension, only tension which is acting towards center along the radius, is acting as centripetal force. So FCP is equal to mv square upon r is equal to TD. Now let's apply conservation of mechanical energy from point A to point D. From point A to point D. Now, when particle is coming down, particle is coming down, vertical height is from bottommost position is decreasing, so kinetic energy will decrease and potential energy will decrease and kinetic energy will increase. So velocity at D will be, or kinetic energy at D will be higher than kinetic energy at A. So delta KE equal to delta PE. So half of m VD square minus half of m V A square equal to mgh. Now what is the vertical displacement here? Vertical displacement here, it is coming from A to D. That means this will be our vertical displacement, which is nothing but R. H is equal to R. So put that in the equation, put the value of VA. We know the value of VA, which is RG. RG, root of RG, m will get cancelled. So VD square minus VA square will be equal to 2GR. VA square is VA is equal to root of RG. So VD will be equal to square root of 3RG. This is what we will get at speed at point D. Same speed you will get at point C, but the direction of speed or direction of velocity. So magnitude of velocity will be same at both location, but at D, direction of speed will be V is equal to root 3G, which will be downward, and at C it will be upward. Same, V is equal to root of 3G. So you can see here that from point A to D, root RG, root 3 RG, root 5 RG, speed is increasing because it's coming down, potential energy is decreasing, kinetic energy is increasing. It is at most at bottommost position, and when it is going upward again, speed is decreasing because kinetic energy is decreasing and potential energy is increasing, and it is lowest at point A. Lowest at point A. So always remember this. Always remember this. So what did I say? That speed can never be constant. Speed can never be constant in VCM, and using three positions I have proved that it will be never be constant. It will never be constant. So let's find difference in tensions at different positions. So difference between tensions. So let's find tension, difference of tension, difference between tensions in the string at extreme vertical positions. That means between point A and point B. We already know that just using logic, or even using free body diagram, we know that tension at B is greater than tension at A. So if we need positive difference, we will need to find TA minus TB. TA minus TB. And from free body diagrams, while we were deriving the equations of velocity, we also found the equation for centripetal force. So at point A, mva square upon r was nothing but T plus mg, and at B, mvb square upon r was nothing but mg minus T. Sorry, it was actually T was pointing towards center and mg was pointing away from center. Here TA, TB. Now if I subtract equation 1 from 2 minus 1, what will I get? M are common, VB square minus VA square is equal to TB minus TA minus 2 mg. Let's put the value of VB and VA here. What will happen? M upon R. What is VB square? What is the velocity at bottommost position? 5 rg minus at A rg. So 5 minus 1, 4, r will get cancelled, and on this side we will get 4 rg equal to TB minus TA minus 2 mg. Sorry, this will be mg. R got cancelled. I can take this minus 2 rg to here another side and make it plus 2 mg. So TB minus TA will be equal to 6 mg. 6 mg. Difference between tensions at topmost and bottommost position is 6 mg. It is 6 mg. Let's find the difference between tension at point D and point B, or point D or point A. Let's find it between point D and point A. Whatever goes for point D, it will go for point C. So for point D, I know mvd square upon r is only TD. TD. Let's make this equation 3. And tension at D is obviously greater than tension at A, because tension at A is our lowest value of tension. So we have this equation 1. Let's subtract equation 1 from 3. So what will I get? M upon R Vd square minus Va square equal to Td minus Ta minus Mg. Let's put the value of respective velocities. M upon R, what is velocity speed at D? 3rg minus rg, r will get cancelled. 3 minus 1 is 2. So what I will get here? 2 mg. 2 mg, and I can, let's take this mg to another side. That means plus mg is equal to td minus ta. td minus ta. So my td minus ta will become 3 mg, and this will be also value for tc minus ta. And from this you can tell what will be the difference of tension between point C and point B. 6 mg, 3 mg. That means if this, from this to this is total 6 mg and this to this is 3 mg, then from point C to point B, difference between tensions will be also 3 mg. 3 mg. See, if you know the basics of mechanics, you know the sign conventions, you know the forces and their directions, how to add forces with signs, you can do any examples easily, but you should know the basic. Where is tension acting? Tension will always act in string away from the particle in question. mg will act towards the center of earth if it is non-inertial frame of reference. Centripetal force is always acting towards center along radius. Centrifugal force is acting away from center along radius. If you know this and you know how to draw free body diagram, you are not you are just only adding magnitude of forces, and this is just arithmetic. This is not vector addition. If you are adding magnitudes, this is only arithmetic, basic arithmetic, and you can do it. You should only, you must be able to get to this point. Beyond this, it is only arithmetic. I am just dividing or subtracting and getting what I need. But you must be able to identify the forces in the situation, in problem, and their direction and their necessary magnitude, and how to for for particular situation which sign conventions to apply. Only after, if you know that, basic stuff, if you know that basic stuff, this will be very easy for you. So never underestimate basics. Never underestimate basics, because if you know basics, if your foundation is strong, your building of physics will be taller and taller. Now let's study vertical circular motion or VCM with another perspective generalized in generalized situation. So let's assume the particle is tied to a string. It is going in a circular motion, and it is at this position, which is making some angle theta with respect to the vertical. Now I haven't chosen a like specific position like bottommost or topmost or horizontal. I have chosen a random position at angle theta. So obviously weight will be acting downward. What will be the direction of tension? What will be the direction of tension? It will be it will be along the radius, along the string, away from particle T. Let's assume the particle is starting its motion from here. From equilibrium position, it is starting its motion with velocity u. With velocity u and velocity speed. Sorry, I am confusing you. I am using speed and velocity alternatively, but if you don't see bar here, let's just take it as speed, even if I say velocity sometimes. This is point A, this is point B, and speed at point tangential speed at point B, let it be v. So this is my situation. I have chosen an arbitrary point, and now I know what are the forces, what is the velocity at the locations I have assumed particularly. So if this angle is theta, this angle will be theta, and along the radius, component of weight will be mg cos theta, and along the tangent, it will be mg sin theta. mg sin theta. Now, when the particle is going from position A to position B, what is the vertical displacement? What is the vertical displacement? It has covered. Let's see it as at a h. H. So this distance is vertical displacement. So what is the value of this h? Let's take out the triangle. This triangle. This triangle. Hypotenuse of this triangle is radius r. Length of the string. This total length is r. This is h, and this is r minus h, and this angle is theta. So if I take cos theta, I will get r minus h upon r. So from here I can find h is equal to r cos theta, r minus r cos theta, r minus r cos theta or h is equal to r into 1 minus cos theta. Let's apply this. Let's apply this now. What is the theta at point A? It's 0. So cos 0 is 0, or cos 0 is 1. What is the value of cos 0? Cos 0 का वैल्यू क्या होता है? 1 होता है, बराबर. So 1 minus 1 is 0. So what is the vertical displacement at A? 0. Correct. Now let's take horizontal position C. It has covered 90-degree angle. It has covered 90-degree angle. What is the value of cos 90? What is the value of cos 90? Now it's 0. 1 minus 0, 1. 1 into r. At horizontal position, what was our vertical displacement? R. See how we have derived a generalized formula, and now we are using this generalized formula to find vertical displacement at our previous specific positions. Now at B, what is the angle covered from here to here? 180 degree. What is cos 180 degree? Minus 1. 1 minus minus 1 minus minus plus 1 plus 1 2 2r. See, between A and uppermost point, our vertical displacement was 2r. So this equation holds. This equation for vertical displacement holds. Now let's apply conservation of mechanical energy between A and B. So between A and B, delta KE will be equal to delta PE. So I already know that velocity at point u is greater than at any position in the vertical circular motion. So half of mu square minus half of mv square is equal to mgh. What is this h? This h is this one. So from here I can find the generalized equation of v square, which is v square is equal to u square minus 2gh minus 2gh. The m will get cancelled and 1 upon 2 will be common, and it will go to the numerator and become 2 at other side, and I have shift v term to the other side, so it will become positive, and 2gs term to the other side, so it will become negative. So this will be the generalized equation at any position if we know the speed at bottommost position. So what is the tension? What is the tension at generalized position B? Now here I can see along the radius there are two forces, T and mg cos theta. Tension is directing towards center and mg cos theta is directing away from center. So the resultant will act as my centripetal force, and as T is directing towards center, its sign will be positive. As mg cos theta is directing away from center, its sign will be negative. So my necessary FCP will be mvb square upon, sorry, now it's not VB, only V. mv square upon r is equal to t minus mg cos theta. So this will be the equation of forces along the radial line. T minus mg cos theta is equal to mv square upon r. If you know these three terms, if you know these three equations, relations, then you will be able to solve any problem in vertical circular motion, you may not have to you cannot forget the vertical circular perspective we learned before, like we took specific positions, and then we found velocities at different positions using conservation of mechanical energy. We are gonna do that same thing again, but using these three formulas. We have already did it here, so you do not have to do that thing again with specific points. You just need to know theta. And r will be constant for a circle. Theta will point out the position of your point, and if you know theta, you will know h. From h you will know v, and if you know v, you will know tension. So don't worry. Hmm? the only the only known unknown is u, and what should be the value of u? We will see that, because depending on value of u, there are various motion of particles, For example, for certain value of u, there should be a certain minimum value of u, so that the particle can finish the loop. The previous perspective on VCM, we already considered that particle was in VCM, it was completing loop, and then we calculated the speeds at different point, and at that point speed at lowermost position was minimum speed at lowermost position was root of 5 rg, because we found out that minimum speed at topmost position should be root of rg for completing the circle, or it will leave the circle and circular motion will cease to exist. Let's see. Let's see those conditions. So depending on value of u, particle will either complete the loop or complete the circular motion, or circular motion will cease to exist, or what else will happen. Let's make the list of our three important formulae down below, down the circle. So we will not have to look again and again. H is equal to R into 1 minus cos theta. V square is equal to U square minus 2GH, and T minus mg cos theta will be equal to mv square upon r, and we are going to use these three relations to find various velocities. So first one is, so various cases of vertical circular motion. The case of looping or condition for looping. That means if the particle starts from you and it goes to the top and come back to the bottommost position A in a circular motion. So condition for looping means particle completes the circular motion or circle. So we already know that at topmost position, if tension in string goes zero, circular motion will cease to exist and the particle will not follow the circle. So for looping or to particle to complete the circle, tension at topmost position at topmost position tension should be greater than or equal to 0. Why I am taking equal to? Because it is a limiting value. And what is theta? I told you that we only need theta. So if I started, motion is going counterclockwise, so I am following the same convention. And what is this angle? Pi. What is this angle? Pi. 180 degree. That means pi radian. Pi radian. So let's put these two values in this third equation and find out what will be the minimum velocity at this point. What will be the minimum velocity at this point? So t is 0, mg cos theta is, excuse me, 0 minus mg cos 180 equal to mv square upon r. Will get cancelled. Will get cancelled. Cos 180 is minus 1. Minus 1 into minus is equal to positive 1. It will become positive. So v square be equal to rg. So v minimum will be root of rg. See, in previous method we also found this. At topmost position, minimum speed should be rg at topmost or highest position. Now if I put v minimum in second equation, I can get the minimum value of u with which I should start the circular motion, or I should project my particle in circular motion. Let's put it here. Rg equal to u square minus 2g. Let's put value of h now. R into 1 minus cos 180 degree. So Rg equal to mu, sorry, u square minus 2Rg into 2. 1 minus minus 1 is 2. So what will be the equation for u minimum? 4 minus 4 will go there, 4 plus 1 5. So this also we knew that u minimum is square root of 5 Rg. So for particle to complete the loop, or circle, speed at lowest point must be, u should be greater than or equal to root of 5 Rg. Always remember this. So now we also know the known unknown. So if you want the circular motion, your value of u should be greater than or equal to root of 5 Rg. If you want the circular motion, what should be your starting speed? If I start my journey, my circular motion from point A, lowermost point, my particle, I have to project it with velocity u, or my particle is starting its circular motion at point A, then the speed of that particle should be at least square root of 5 Rg, so that it comes back around. It comes back around to the position. That means it's completing the loop. It will come back to the original position by following the circle of length r. So this is the condition for looping. So if I draw my circular motion at this point, if minimum speed is 5 Rg, then here my minimum speed will be root Rg. And if tension here is zero, then what will be the tension here? See, at t is equal to 0, you can use this equation. At uppermost position, if it is 0 and you put it is 0, and then at bottommost position, this t will be equal to mg, T will be equal to mg. Cos theta will be cos 0. Cos 0 will be 0. So this term will go 0. So mg equal to mrg, mg equal to mv square upon r. Sorry, excuse me. So we need tension at point A. At point A. So mg cos theta, cos 0 is actually 1. So it will be mg minus T minus mg is equal to, what is the velocity here? 5 rg. Put 5 rg here. R will it cancel? What will remain here? 5 mg, and this mg will go there. So tension at bottommost position will be 6 mg. 6 mg. And we also know from previous perspective on VCM that TA minus TB, difference of tensions between extreme points is 6 mg, and if at topmost position is tension is 0, then at bottommost position it will be 6 mg. It will be 6 mg. Now we know that for looping, our initial speed or speed at bottommost position should be at least 5 rg. That means it should be greater than or equal to 5 rg. But what happens? If it is below 5 rg? If I start my motion, if the particle here start its motion with the velocity less than root of 5 rg, what will happen? We are gonna see that. If u is less than root of 5 rg, root of 5 rg, if u is less than root of 5 rg, there are two cases that can happen. What is the first case? Particle leaves the circle. That means what happens? Let me stop this. So my particle's initial speed at the bottommost position is u, and if u is less than 5 rg, what will happen? In first case, particle will leave the circle. That means what was the root of 5 rg? It was the minimum velocity that can produce the minimum kinetic energy, so that the particle reaches this topmost position and comes back in circular way. But now we have provided less energy, less in kinetic energy to the particle, because now velocity initial velocity is less than 5 rg. So obviously it will not be able to reach, it will not be able to reach the topmost position. It will not be able to reach the topmost position. So what will happen? What will happen? Particle will start its journey along the circle, and because we haven't provided it with enough kinetic energy, the kinetic energy will go zero before reaching the kinetic energy will go zero before reaching the topmost position. This will be the one case. What can be the another case? What can be the another case? What can be the another case? Two things might happen. If circle starts from here and we have not given the enough kinetic energy, that means we haven't projected this particle with enough initial velocity, either it will reach certain point, it will reach certain point, and and its velocity will become zero before reaching top point, because we haven't provided it with enough kinetic energy. And what other thing can happen? What the other thing happen? Hmm? we have provided we have provided enough enough velocity, that means enough kinetic energy, that block doesn't stops, or block's speed does not go to zero, but when it crosses the horizontal position, when it crosses horizontal position, the tension in the string might go zero. The tension in the string might go zero. Why? Because velocity, what is velocity responsible for? Mv square by r. That means if we have enough v, we will have enough centripetal force. And where is this centripetal force coming from? That centripetal force is coming from the tension in the string. So if I don't have enough v at the specific position, it has some value v, it has some velocity. The velocity or speed at the position is non-zero, but it is not enough to be the centripetal force required to complete the circle. So, and where it can happen? When it crosses the horizontal line, because when it crosses the horizontal line, the component of mg and tension will act along the radius towards center, and this will decrease the value of t. This will decrease the value of t. So there might be a case, if you have started from the bottommost position with less than root rg, string block will go here, and at this position beyond the horizontal, and at this position tension in spring will go zero, but it will still have some velocity. So it will leave the circle and will go tangentially. But now when it has left the circle with some tangential velocity v, it will travel Will it travel straight? No. Will it go in linear motion? No. What will happen? It has, so at this position, the block doesn't have any centripetal acceleration. The circular motion has stopped, and the block has this velocity. This velocity. It is acting upward. So what will the block follow? It will follow the projectile motion under the influence of gravity. बघा दोन कंडिशन आहेत एका कंडिशन मध्ये काय होतंय टेन्शन झिरो होतंय पण व्हेलॉसिटी झिरो होत नाहीये हा ती आपली पहिली केस आहे पहिली केस आहे ह्याच्यामध्ये काय होतंय इथून चालू केलं समजा मोशन आणि हॉरिझॉन्टल लाईन पास केली इथं कुठं तरी आला पॉइंट तर काय होतंय इथं आल्यावर पॉइंट काय होतंय टेन्शन झिरो होतोय पण देयर इज सम नॉन झिरो व्हेलॉसिटी so if tension was zero centripetal force will cease to exist because it is provided by tension so if there is no tension there will be no sufficient force which is acting as a centripetal force so particle will leave the circle but it still has some velocity so with that velocity it will follow a projectile motion it will follow a projectile motion so it will come down in a projectile motion so this is t theta this was our point a this was our point b so to tension to tension be zero to tension be zero to tension be zero for tension to be zero our h vertical displacement should be greater than r why I am saying that because when it crosses the horizontal mg will act this way and tension will act this way sorry this tension and also there will be a component of mg acting towards this way and there will be another component of mg acting in tangential direction so there is no component of weight which is balancing out the tension that means there is no component of weight which is acting along radius but away from center so there is no force to balance the t so there is no force acting in opposite direction of the tension and tension can be only created if there is opposite force in opposite direction away from the point where string is tied so for tension to be zero our vertical displacement h should be always greater than h so for t is equal to 0 let's put that t is equal to 0 here what will happen minus mg cos theta minus mg cos theta equal to mv square upon r m will get cancelled So cos theta will be equal to minus v square upon rg, minus v square upon rg. See, cos theta is negative, and we know cos theta at 0 is 1. When it goes to 90 degree, it becomes 0, and when it get beyond 90 degree, that means when it goes beyond horizontal line, it will become negative. So from here we can say, we can also prove this position. Where can this position happen? For t is equal to 0, theta will be equal to cos inverse of minus v square upon rg, minus v square upon rg. We can put value of v square from here. Let's put it. What it will be? Theta equal to, negative sign will flip this equation, cos inverse of 2gh minus u square upon rg. So this is the angle, with vertical at which position, at which the particle will leave the circle and will start the projectile path, or will start the projectile motion circular. At this angle, vertical circular motion will stop and projectile motion will start. See, the point which I have proved here with components of mg, I can prove it with this. So for t is equal to 0, for 2 to be 0, t to be 0, cos theta should be negative. And when is cos theta negative? When it is greater than 90. When it is greater than 90, when it goes beyond 90 degree, that means when it goes beyond horizontal line. And until horizontal line, my vertical displacement is r. That means where my vertical displacement is greater than r, then and then only my the particle will leave the vertical circular motion and follow the projectile motion. So this is the theta. So let's find h in terms of u and r. At what vertical height will the particle leave the motion? So cos theta equal to, from our first equation, we can say 1 minus h upon r. Put the value of cos theta from here. What is the value of cos theta? 2gh minus u square upon rg equal to r minus h upon r. Sorry, let's not do that. Leave the h alone because we want h. Now rearrange and do the arithmetic. H upon r will be equal to 1 minus 2gh minus u upon rg. Excuse me, just a second. Okay, 2gh upon rg minus u upon rg is equal to 1 minus h upon r. Let's take all the terms with h to the one direction. Here gg will get cancelled. 2h upon r plus h upon r is equal to 1 minus 1 minus minus plus u plus rg, u plus rg. 3h upon, excuse me, this is u square, this is u square, sorry for the confusion, upon r is equal to rg plus u square upon rg. Here r will get cancelled and my h will be u square plus rg upon 3g. So this is the height, vertical height, that means this h, where particle will leave the circle and follow the projectile path, will follow the projectile path. Now from our these conditions, we found out the what will be theta and what will be the h. That means we found out the position at which the particle leave the circle when you have u which is less than 5 rg, which is less than 5 rg. So from this, either from this or from components of mg, we know that tension will be zero only beyond when theta is 90 degree, or only beyond when h is greater than r. When h is greater than r, either from cos theta, negative cos theta, or resolution of mg. And I explained that there is no component of mg that is balancing the tension, or that is responsible for creating the tension in string beyond horizontal or beyond theta is 90 degree. So let's find out, let's use that equation to find minimum value of u for this. So root 5 rg is maximum value of u for our experiment, for this condition. So there should be some minimum value of u, because there are two conditions, which is the first where p goes 0, v stays non-zero, other is where v goes 0. So there must be a middle point. So what is our u? H, u square plus rg upon 3g should be greater than r. This is unit equation. Rules are same as the equations. U square plus rg is greater than 3rg. This rg will become negative. So u should be greater than 2rg. 2rg. U should be greater than 2rg. So let's Let's write all the conditions for conditions for particle leaving the circle. Leaving the circle. Your speed at lowest point should be less than 5 root of 5 rg and greater than root of 2 rg. Your vertical displacement h should be greater than r, and your angular displacement theta should be less than 180 degree and greater than 90 degree, because this will only happen if our particle does not reach the topmost point. If it does reach topmost point, it will complete the loop and it won't leave the circle. It won't leave the circle. So these are the three conditions where you can where you the particle leave the circle, when the particle leave the circle. And after leaving the circle, it will follow the projectile path under the influence of gravitational force. Under the influence of gravitational force. So while finding lower limit of u, which was 2 rg, I used this condition. H should be greater than r. I have an exercise for you. Find the value of u using this condition, third condition. That means theta is greater than 90 degree. That means pi by 2 radians. And what is theta? Cos inverse of 2g h minus u square upon rg should be greater than pi by 2. Using this inequation, find the value of u, and it should be under root of 2 rg. If it is not, you have done something wrong, because you can use either condition to find u and it will be root of 2 rg. So for this particle to leave the circle, your condition for speed must condition of speed at lowest point, or starting speed at lowest point should be lie between root of 2 rg and root of 5 rg. Your vertical displacement should be greater than r, and your angular displacement should lie between 90 degree and 180 degree. Put 180 degree in this, in h, in cos theta, and see what the velocity v you are getting, and will it be able to complete the circle. अपना दिमाग लगाओ एंड देखो कि अगर 180 डिग्री तक गया, 180 डिग्री डाला, तो उसके बाद सर्कल छोड़ सकता है क्या? हाँ, थोड़ा दिमाग लगाओ और मुझे कल करके बताओ. ये भी कल करके बताना है मुझे. And I have also a challenge for you. That solve the mystery of two-wheeler turning along a circular path. turning along a circular path. I have also one exercise for you. It is optional, but I will provide the chart just for a fun. If this velocity can range from root to RG to root RG, I want you to find H and theta's H theta vertical displacement, velocity when tension goes to 0, or velocity when particle leaves the circle, and theta or cos theta at u is equal to 3 rg and u is equal to 4 rg. Just because they are round numbers, you can be asked in exams regarding those velocities. What if u is root 3 rg, and what if what if u is root 4 rg? Find h, theta and v velocity at that position, and also find value of u, value of v, value of h when theta is 135 degree. 135 degree, that means 90 plus 45. 90 plus 45, it is also like in between. So it is also around specific position where question can be asked, and if you do this exercise, the condition for leaving the circle will be understood perfectly. It will be hammered into your brain. If you will be able to do it, because just you have to put the values. You have equations, you just have to put values and find the h, v and theta at 3 root 3 rg and root 4 rg, and u, h and v at theta is equal to 135 degree. So you have homework to do. Tomorrow we will see the second condition, second case, when u is less than root of 5 rg. What will happen in second case? Now we know that between root 2 rg and root 5 rg it will leave the circle, but what will happen if it is now below root 2 rg? Between 0 and root 2 rg, what will happen? We will see that tomorrow. We will see that tomorrow, and I will give you a hint. It will follow oscillatory motion. It will become a simple pendulum. So we are gonna learn some. We are gonna learn some simple harmonic motion or simple pendulum with using vertical circular motion. So have a nice and productive day. Goodbye.